On this anniversary of 9/11, I want to thank Donald Trump for restoring my faith in the American people. I lost it on September 12, 2001. Having been born in Venezuela, I always felt like an outsider. I began losing my faith in the lead-up to Desert Storm. The press lied continuously about our equipment, our training, and the alleged skills of the Iraqis. A demented has-been never-was celebrity here on Twitter called me a war groupie. He's of the opinion that studying warfare makes you a fan of warfare. I guess oncologists love cancer. Cancer groupies. I didn't want the U.S. to go to war, but Iraq had annexed a sovereign nation. It had to be challenged, or the consequences would have been catastrophic for the planet. The way most people failed the test upset me greatly. War is a catastrophe. It shouldn't be politicized, trivialized, celebrated, or opposed for stupid reasons. That was the beginning of my loss of faith. Then we had 9/11. My late mother woke me up by pounding on my bedroom window. She was standing in my garden, yelling that terrorists were attacking all over the country. We watched the news all day, and the very next day, this man spoke for everyone who made me lose faith in America. He wrote an utterly disgraceful piece full of gleeful snark about how now we were going to bomb the brown people and weapons manufacturers whose stock he owned would make tons of money. We dropped the ball. We didn't act like a nation of adults who cared about those 3,000 lives taken by blunt force trauma, smoke, or flames. Every day was a trial. The horrifying genetically deficient conspiracy theorists began howling the day after Michael Moore gave them permission. They're still howling. Then we invaded Iraq, and everybody screwed the pooch. The man who fought tooth and nail to be president crapped out. We'll let history decide, he slurred over and over. I got so tired of defending him. The first one who accused Bush of lying us into war was a man who never faced any consequences for letting a young woman drown in his car. More howling. It didn't matter that the argument is insane. Bush knew that Saddam didn't have WMDs. How? Is Bush a remote viewer? All his intelligence agencies were telling him that Saddam had stockpiles of WMDs. How did Bush alone on the planet know that Saddam didn't? The answer, of course, is that we found everything Bush said was there, but it wasn't assembled. I spent years explaining that, and then I gave up. When we elected Obama, I stopped paying attention to politics. We had proven ourselves to be absolutely hopeless. I had a brief moment of hope during the first presidential debate of 2012, when Romney deftly eviscerated Obama. But, of course, Romney then lost with honor. So, I gave up. My plan was to no longer vote. Both parties lied. The public always made horrible choices, and anyone who wanted improvement was attacked mercilessly. In World War I, A German flamethrower operator who served on the Italian front was haunted for his whole life by the suicidal incompetence of the Italians and Austrians. He called it the clown apocalypse. That's how I felt about the United States. My brother and I looked into becoming citizens of other countries. Donald Trump changed all that. I didn't know a thing about him. Just for fun, I watched the first GOP primary debate, and Trump was low-key. I thought he was having trouble, since he wasn't a professional politician. Then I watched the second debate. He was like a different man. So I rewatched the first debate and saw that Trump had used that time to study his opponents. And then he began dismantling them effortlessly. I therefore read everything by and about Trump, and I realized that he would win, and he would be the best president in our history. Guess when Trump began thinking about how to solve the world's problems? In 1969. That's when he learned about thermonuclear weapons. Therefore, it's clear that Trump began planning for his presidency in 1969. I have no doubt. And Americans were able to see that. They redeemed themselves. I now have faith in us again. See, it turns out that everything was simply so negative and corrupt that most of us had given up. If we're honest, we'll admit it. Nobody really thought that things would get better. We were so debauched that the woman who wrote Reagan's Shining City Upon a Hill speech voted for Obama. That can't be defended. I don't blame the average person for voting for him, but everyone in Washington knew he was a total fraud and a con artist. Obama taught me that there is a ruling class, and they do want to enslave us. If we'd elected Hillary, we would have been washed out to sea. We would have never made it back to shore. And I would have renounced my citizenship. Now, I realize that we are the people who I'd always hoped we would be. When Trump asked, "Would you like to be great again?" we roared, "Hell yeah!" And it's just been growing since then. People may think I'm politicizing 9/11. No. I'm explaining how Donald Trump restored my faith in the country, in the people, regardless of their political party. I thought we'd embraced the negative forever. A country of Michael Moores. I'm happy to have been proven wrong. I think we are given signs that we are on the right track. I bought a postcard that shows World War I German flamethrower operators about to go into battle on the Dead Man in Verdun, December 27, 1916. This is the man who coined the phrase clown apocalypse. His name was George Lemke. I learned the term in a casual conversation and I loved it. 5 years later, I found a photo of the man who coined it. Somebody calculate the